And if you want your manifestations to be amplified by 1,000, you need to keep watching, because I got some tricks for y'all. Okay, so there are a lot of videos out there saying how to increase your manifestations, how to get in the frequency, all that stuff is very generic to me. And I think if you're in the tune with the manifestations and stuff, you already know half of that stuff. Of course, you have to believe in your manifestations, of course. Like, you already know that stuff. So, of course, I'm not saying it's going to work for you, but here's some things that from personal experience that I've did that I can definitely share with you guys and say that this shit worked. Number one, writing down everything you feel. And I mean, like, basic stuff. I mean, like, I'm hurt because there was no damn Chick-fil-A sandwiches today. Creates a different mindset. Because I remember I was going through something, with my dog. I think my dog is old. So, you know, something had happened to her. She's not dead or anything. But something happened to her, you know, like, old people stuff. Well, old dog stuff. And I was just so, like, drained and just so, like, ugh. So I wrote that down. This was the first time I ever really wrote my feelings down, because that's not something I do. I kind of just wait till it surpasses and I wait for the wavelength to go away and I'm fine. But this was the first time I genuinely wrote it down. And you know something, when you write it down, everything else starts flowing to why you're really upset. Because was I upset about my dog? Yes. But I was also upset about A, B, C, D, E. And it started just flowing on paper. And I just felt like it was literally coming out my soul. And it makes you feel 10 times more better. It makes you feel 10 times more better. When your mindset is healthy and you can really release all that negative energy, all that feelings that you have about a certain thing, everything starts kind of falling in place a little bit better, and your manifestations become more clearer. I used to struggle holding on to visualization. Like, I would visualize, but I would struggle, like, really, really bad. Like, I would be like, yeah, but then it would, like, go away, come back, go away, come back. When I just started writing down how I felt and I put my emotions into paper, my visualization got a little bit stronger. I could hold it a bit better. Is that everything I wrote down has, like, came true. Like, my real estate test, I passed that, and I literally wrote down, guess what? I passed already the day before I took the test. So it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of creepy. Moving on to the next one. This is kind of like directly involved into the first one. Uncluttered space equals an uncluttered mind. Every time I feel my room getting piled up with clothes, getting piled up with books, getting piled up with just crazy stuff, my mind goes in automatic brain fog. And I'm struggling to hold on to my manifestations. I'm struggling to put pure intention into my manifestations because of the clutterness I am experiencing right now. Literally. That's why I have to keep my room decently clean every day. I don't know how, because y'all, I used to not clean my room. Like, I'll be honest. I used to never clean my room. Like, my room would just be dirty. It would just be real messy and just dirty. And eventually I started cleaning my room when I got older, because, like, duh. And I've gotten, like, way more stuff done. Or sometimes when I feel like it's a lot going on in my life, I'll kind of neglect my room or neglect my safe space. And that, you don't ever want to do that. You don't ever want to do that. Because then everything else in your life just feels like it starts falling down. And this is just for me personally. Of course, it's not for everybody. Some people can have, like, just a cluttered room and just, like, be perfectly fine. But if you are feeling an experience of just clutter in your body, your soul, your mind, declutter your personal space. Declutter the space that you spend the most time at. Like, my cousin, she was telling me that her room, which is really, really cluttered, and she just started feeling, like, sad and just down, just depressed all the time. And I said, you need to declutter your room, because all of that stuff is just holding on to the negative energy that you just walked into the room from the people, from the trauma, from all that. It's just clinging onto those clothes, clinging onto the desk, clinging onto all the necessary stuff you have. And it's creating a very, very trifling experience for all of us. Like, remove things you don't need, remove things that no longer serve you. Get right there. But yeah, that's number 2. Oh, going back to number 2. Oh my God, this is why I need to read. When you unclutter, like I was going specifically off the first one, when you unclutter your space, it unclutters your future. So like I was saying about holding on to the visualization a little bit stronger, because I would think of it and I would, like, it would go away, then I'll think of it, and I just kind of wanted to hold it a little bit more, like, consistently and more, like, just, like, quickly. You know what I'm saying? when I uncluttered my space, I could literally close my eyes and I would just see my future. And I would just see what I want. And I could just think it. And I could hold it. And I'd be like, yeah, that's where the hell I'm gonna be. Like, non-negotiable. Before, I didn't have that confidence, and I didn't have that, like, I didn't have that because my mind was cluttered with so much stuff. There's a difference between being busy and being very cluttered and unorganized. Let your emotions guide you to getting what you want. Use them as leverage. All of these are connected. So going back to the first tip I said about writing everything down. When you use your emotions as leverage, I mean literally. Let me tell you about a story. All these are gonna have a story because, like I said, they're all personal experience. You know, I gotta put my story in there. But going off a story, I remember I was so upset about something and I was bawling, I was crying, I was like, ugh, I was going through it, y'all. As I'm crying, this is before I started journaling. So I know you're gonna be like, why didn't you journal? This is before I started journaling. But I was literally crying and I had to like envision me in the situation. Like I was crying and I was having a conversation. Like the person was in front of me. And I shit you not. Because my emotions and my pure intent was so damn strong and I wanted it to happen so damn bad that I literally visualized a conversation, had a pure conversation with an invisible fucking wall in front of me. It was the most funny shit ever. I was like falling and crying. I was like, I just want you to understand and I just want you to... It was funny. 3 hours later, because it was around like 8 o'clock. So this person called me around like 12. 3 hours later, the person called me and said, okay, like, is there anything you need to say about our situation? And I was like, wait a damn minute. There is some shit I gotta say about our situation. And that was a crazy experience. So ever since then, I've been using my emotions as leverage. When I feel hurt about something, I immediately write that shit down. Or if I'm alone with myself, I immediately talk to myself about it. And I get those emotions out. The whole point into getting your manifestations to be pure, you want to put that intention out there. You need to put it out of your soul. You need to put it into the fucking physical world. If that's what you need to do. A lot of times when we hold on, and this is just my interpretation, when we hold on to these intentions, they never get out there. They never reach the physical world. We never write them down. We never say them. Like, it's just stuck in our soul, stuck in our body. And it's like, you know, and I didn't know that, and I didn't realize that until like I would be manifesting. I would be manifesting, and I would just like think it. I would think it, and like nothing would happen. But this is just my interpretation. Of course, manifesting in general has a lot of interpretation, and I think it just depends on where you're at and how much knowledge you know. But that's just what I feel like, and that's what's been working for me. This one's a little bit generic, don't hate me, but you need to live in freaking delusion. Be the person you want to be. Dress how you want to be. Read how you want to be. I don't know if that made sense, but you guys get the point, right? If future you that has 8,000 followers or 100,000 followers, if that's something you're into, you need to dress, you need to sound, you need to look, you need to talk, you need to... What would she do? What would she do? Every day I think of that. When this also helps when you don't feel like doing something. When I don't feel like doing something, I think if I had fucking 100,000 followers right now, would I just not post for 3 weeks? No, because them bitches would be like, where you at, Cameron? So no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. So I have to suck it up and I have to do it because I have 100,000 followers right now. I have 100,000 subscribers right now. I can't just leave them in the wind like that. Like, I just can't do that. Of course, am I living in a little bit of delusion right now? Yes, but is that what it takes for me to reach, for the delusion to be true? Yes, nigga. Like, period. Like, that's what's just gonna happen. So you need to do exactly what that person would do. If if you're an investor, if you want to be an investor, what would your investor self do? If you had this career, if you were a painter, what would your painting self do? What would you do? How would you invest your money? Would you buy shitty food, or would you buy the brushes you need to make the best paintings in the world? Which one is it going to be? And I think as humans, we tend to fall into this whole like, well, I'm not there yet, and I don't want to like just tell myself lies. I'm saying live in delusion a little bit. It's kind of fun and it works. Period. Like every time I write something down I always say I already got it. I talk like I already have it. I I experience it like I already have it. I got other people telling me like I already have it. Like, and that's what I enjoy. That's what I like. That's what I want, because that's what I am. And I think that's what you have to do. And I thought it's a very, very like weird concept, because like you're lying to yourself. But don't think of it like that. Just think of it like delusion chic. And I actually learned this from The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F by Mark Manson. Failure is proof that your manifestations are working. Failure is proof. Now, your manifestations are not just gonna, okay, I'm not gonna say that, because sometimes it happens, but if you have a long-term goal, like getting a car, getting into a very experienced career field, whatever the case may be, you need to understand failure is getting you closer and closer to that goal. Sometimes manifestations aren't going to happen like this every single time. They're not. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And in the situations where they don't, understand this: when you fail that test, or when you drop that bottle, or when you that failure and that hurt and that pain is something to leverage off of, and to make your manifestations even 10 times stronger. That is your gift. That is your gift for being the person you want to be. I don't know if I just saw how I just connected that whole thing together. I just connected all that together. But no, seriously, failure is a proof that it's working. Like, looking back on it, when I, like 6 months ago, when I was studying real estate to get my real estate license, like, and now that I've finished the class test and I'm moving on to the next test, all those failures in a whole, this is more like a motivation speech, but all those failures in a whole have made me the most, like, wisest person ever that I've ever been. Of course I'm gonna get more wise, but as far as like me being 18 and where I'm at in my life, it has made me been like more demanding and more conforming to a lot of things. I don't know if I use that word, but more demanding to a lot of things. And I think you have to understand, I know everybody puts this narrative out here that, you know, if you say something or if you think something, it's gonna happen. But people don't emphasize that work, that pain, that failure comes with that shit. So you got two options. You can either believe that narrative that manifestations happen like this every single time, or you can put in the work, be the person you want to be, and watch the shit come true and watch your manifestation play out. So those are the 5 tips of how to amplify your manifestations. Your mind is the connection to your manifestation. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of me. And yeah, and also all of my social medias will be in the description box down below. Don't forget to check out my other videos, and bye guys. Bye.